make that same mistake again. Gotta see if I'm live. I mean, there we go. All right. It's probably gonna be a little quick live stream. I'm not gonna expect much really to occur with this stream. Really, I think tomorrow and Tuesday will definitely be a longer live stream. I'm probably gonna go live every day just to give out the tropics, or if there's anything threatening that's gonna pose to the U.S. If not, then I probably won't go live every day. But right now we have something occurring in the Caribbean Sea, which I'll be talking about here in just a second. I'm just gonna make sure everyone is gonna tune in, or some people. So whoever if you're now just tuning in, this is just gonna be a brief live stream. There are also going to be rules now. So the rules are, I'll put it in chat here. This is the rules for now. Until we get our Nightbot situated. Here are our rules. Just put it in chat. Just waiting for people to settle in before we come in and talk about this. And then we're going to talk about the, see if there's going to be any severe, I mean, we already talked about the severe weather and the potential of it, but really not seeing much. There's a lot of updates about the aftermath of Helene. There was a few dams that have failed. They failed, and unfortunately, lots of lives are definitely going to change from the dam, which absolutely sucks. There's already 100 deaths from Helene, 1,000 people missing, 1,000. That is the highest number of missing people I've heard in a long time. Oh man, hopefully they're found. I'm praying for the people in the Carolinas and the Appalachian Mountains. Really am praying for them. So let's talk about the future. Let's talk about the future that we know so far. So we have Tropical Storm Isaac. It used to be a Category 2 hurricane, but now it's just weakening out due to interacting with the cold waters and the wind shear up there. Definitely going to weaken that system out. If you're now just tuning in, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to be updated, because right now we are at the peak of hurricane season right now, and we are seeing a lot of activity occurring. And I would not be surprised if October is also active with tropical activity. So yeah, I think October will definitely be active when it comes to tropical storms, hurricanes, and stuff like that. For November, I'm not. That's uncertain. November could be hit or miss, and I think we'll start to talk about the secondary season, which is basically fall tornado season as well. Probably around right around October is the best time to talk about it, see what's going to happen. Right now, we are in late September, or about to leave September, go into October, so which is pretty interesting. Anyways, let's continue. So we do have Tropical Storm Joyce as well. I don't see any impacts with this storm. It's probably going to be a fish storm. Really don't see it becoming a big concern. We got Tropical Depression 12, which could end up developing into a major hurricane in the future. There's a lot of models indicating that, but I am not too concerned about 12. I think 12 is just going to be a fish storm for the most part, and just basically just go. It's going to do this. If you watch my mouse right here, it's going to do that. I think Joyce will do the same thing. It's going to do that as well. And I'm surprised Isaac is still alive up there. I think it'll probably become like an extra tropical cyclone once it goes up north a little bit. Definitely going to cause problems in the England or the Europe area. And we have another area of interest right here. We have a 10% chance in the next 48 hours, which is pretty interesting as well. And there's a 50% chance of it developing. It used to be a lot. I think it used to be a lot lower. I could be wrong. It might have been a little higher than that, but I don't know. And then we got this disturbance, which I'm going to be talking about the most here. This disturbance is the most important disturbance we are going to talk about here in the stream, because there's going to be a chance for this thing to make landfall somewhere in the U.S. Definitely going to keep an eye out on that system the most. So yeah, let's look at, this is our 2-day graphical tropical weather outlook. So there's like, you can't, the disturbances really, you can't tell you that much with 2 days. But if you look at our 7-day outlook, we do have 2 disturbances. We got Disturbance 2, which has a 50% chance of developing. Based on what it's going to do, we don't know what it's going to do. Like usually for October, we do have a high pressure system right around here, and this storm just curves right into like over here near the Bahamas, maybe making landfall in like right around the Atlantic area. But that's a lot. That's super uncertain because we don't know what can happen with this. This could end up becoming a fish storm too. So, which I think that's my high hope for. So definitely going to be mostly going to be a fish storm. We're not too concerned about that. And we also have Disturbance 1, which has a 50% chance of developing, but we don't exactly know if this is going to develop in the next 48 hours, probably near 0%. But you can see the path of the cone path, or the disturbance cone path, is a little also quite uncertain. This could end up going this way into Cancun or something like that and make landfall around Mexico, or this could lead to up here where it makes which would interact with the Gulf of Mexico waters. By the way, the waters are still bubbling hot. Helene didn't make it just made a little bit of a difference, but not too much to where this is not going to make it out alive. So I think this storm, or this disturbance, it will definitely become a threat to us in the future, but not as a big threat like Helene. Helene was pretty bad. But I don't think this future disturbance is going to cause problems, because we don't know what's going to happen, because this could end up like dying out or become a problem or something like that. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. So they're keeping an eye out on this system and stuff like that. So this could end up being nothing, guys. I mean, if it becomes nothing, it's the best case scenario for a lot of you guys who live in the Gulf states. You guys definitely need a break from the hurricanes and stuff like that. But I definitely see this developing into something here. I would not be surprised if the disturbance went into like a 70% or 80% in the next 7 days. I do expect that to increase. Wouldn't be surprised if the formation chance of in 48 hours would become like 10 to 20% as well for tomorrow. So I do see that becoming a high chance. So definitely going to be in the lookout here for this. All right. So right now I don't have much to say about this storm. If you're now just tuning in, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Definitely want to keep posting. I'll definitely go live tomorrow for a longer stream. This is just a quick update on this for the future disturbance 1. Maybe potentially into a tropical storm. I don't know what the name's going to be. I think it's going to be, I don't know. It's an L name, I think. Either it's going to be an L or a K name, which I think I forgot. I know I can picture it in my head, but I just don't know what the name's going to be. Okay, so let's look at the GFS. So this is the 18Z GFS. So while we go into the future, you can see we got this little system right here. The 18Z GFS right now shows it just nothing. It just doesn't show it become like a very big problem. Probably around a depression or a low end tropical storm that makes landfall here somewhere around like Tampa, Florida. But I'm not gonna buy that. That does not look accurate at all. Really doesn't seem the case here. For this. And then after that, nothing really happens, and we're going to continue seeing some troughs coming in the middle of October. But after that, I don't see this being accurate for the 18Z GFS. Now the 12Z GFS, I think it's a little different because I did take a peek at it earlier. And you can see it does show it just moving, like it's moving north here. Just it gets a little stronger, but not as much really, like around a tropical storm, I'd say. But then it just stalls and weakens out due to how cool the waters are there, and then just dies out completely. But I'm not buying that either. I think it's going to become a potential hurricane or something like that. But the GFS kind of disagrees on this. I think the GFS probably doesn't want to see this as a hurricane, but right now we are like 6 to 7 days out. So I mean, a lot of things can easily change from here on out. So definitely want to keep an eye out. The GFS can really uptrend with this, and as you can see, like for the 6Z, the GFS just indicates just a very weak storm and not causing any problems, but I really am not buying this at all. I think the GFS right now is probably playing with us at this point, because if you look at here, look at our jet stream. This is what I'm talking about here. So here's our jet stream. It's way up north, and as you can see right here, you got some zonal flow going on right up there, and this is probably going to keep, if the storm makes it over here, it's not going to move anywhere, but it will definitely get way bigger. I mean, not way bigger, but way stronger than what we all think. And then later in October, you got some trough action going on here, which we might see some sort of severe weather return in the middle of October. Definitely something like that. That could print that's what the GFS says. It might print something out like that, but it is too much uncertainty. I don't know if this is going to be the case in October. Definitely would keep my eyes out on that as well. I think for fall tornado season, I think we're definitely going to take a break from the major like outbreaks we experienced in the past, like early 2020s. 2021 was an example. Definitely back in October and December were the most active months that time. There was a couple of outbreaks that occurred in my home state in October and December alone. Nobody talks about the late October tornado outbreak that occurred in Farmington and Fredericktown. That's where I live. I live like 50 miles away from that area. And then you got 2021, which is known as the Mayfield tornado, and it caused its own problems. We had our own EF3 tornadoes, and we had the Edwardsville, Illinois Amazon warehouse tornado that killed employees at the Amazon warehouse, which was very tragic to hear it's very tragic. We haven't had like a death related tornado in our city since in a long time. So yeah, we're definitely going to experience some troughs here in fall, but they're not going to be as intense though. Probably maybe some isolated severe weather, or maybe, but I mean, this could become a thing for fall. So definitely we'll keep an eye out for that as well. This is the European model. Again with zonal flow, but it doesn't show a tropical. It doesn't show anything in particular according to the European model. and then just show some zonal flow, some ridging going on. Would not be surprised if we get a very warm fall, probably around there, because I think fall is definitely going to be on the warmer side and stuff like that. Right now it is September 29th, so things can easily change from here. The SPC for the severe weather potential doesn't show much right now, so that's something to note, that we don't see much really happening at all. So we're going to experience a quiet pattern, but I'm going to definitely be live for only the tropical activity. So yeah, I am a little worried about the I'm a little worried that the models are really going to be wrong, and we're definitely going to see something occur next weekend. Let's go to tropical tidbits. Here's Helene. Everyone's talking about Helene. This is still there. A lot of Helenes, blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, it is very important because it's a very historic storm. So, yeah. Let's see here. There's no storm yet for tropical tidbits, so it's kind of pointless to look at it. So yeah, I think that's a good thing for now, but that can easily change. My mouth is pretty dry. I need to drink some water. I need to drink water. We had a couple tornado warnings in Virginia, which was pretty interesting because it was like a TSTM risk, which was pretty funny to think about. Participation type. I think yesterday's GFS model definitely was aggressive with this storm, and I think I have to agree on that. I don't know why I opened two up. I'm gonna look at that again. This is yesterday's event here. Yeah, definitely a lot aggressive. According to the 12Z on the 28th of September. Yeah, it shows a lot more of an aggressive hurricane down there, making landfall somewhere around Pensacola or Destin, and then completely just interacts with that trough that comes in. And then the reason why it intensifies so much is because of how warm the waters are right over here. It used to uptrend, or it used to be super aggressive, and now we're not seeing much. So I'm kind of curious on what tomorrow's going to look like with the models and stuff like that, and what it's going to look like. So definitely would like to keep an eye out in case we do end up getting some sort of tropical activity somewhere around the Gulf. So this is the 12Z. This is what it looks like right now, which I am not buying at all. Definitely, the waters are definitely much warmer, and this storm will pretty much get worse. I think due to how warm the waters are, this storm is definitely going to really get its act together. And yeah, again, this is uncertain, but you can see some sort of storm forming down here in near the Pacific Ocean, and then makes landfall somewhere in Mexico, and then makes interactions with us, and posing a severe weather threat possibly. But I really don't see that occurring with that, since we're 200 hours out. And here comes the uncertainty. Very uncertain weather pattern. I want to look at the 18Z real quick because that's the most recent run. I'm curious to know what the 00Z is going to look like once it comes out in around 10:45 or something like that. So as you can see, you can barely see much happening because the 18Z is just not printing out much. Right now, like I said, the GFS is all over the place with this system. I think it did the same thing with Helene, where it was just all over the place. It was like a tropical storm, category 5, blah, blah, blah. GFS doing the same thing, but it shows the storm much weaker, and I have to kind of agree with that. But which is pretty much a good thing. The only reason why it's a good thing is because the storm won't be that nearly as catastrophic as the previous storm we experienced. So I definitely would pay attention to this. I wouldn't pay attention to this development just yet, but I probably will provide another update to see who needs to pay attention or not tomorrow night once I go live again. So I think that's pretty much it for me. I think this is just a little brief live stream. I'm not expecting much to occur with this. If I go live again tomorrow or Tuesday, it's definitely going to be longer than usual because that's when we get the most updates and stuff like that. I do see some storm activity, or we could see an uptrend tomorrow depending on what the GFS says. We could end up seeing the development chance increase as we get closer. So I'm going to keep an eye out on that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this live stream. I know it was quick, but I'm going to wrap it up because there's nothing much to talk about. Anyway.